If you're just starting to learn about the many different ways that you can make money online, or you hear about an e-commerce store that's doing really well, maybe from an online guru or maybe even a friend, then you are probably going to relate to what I'm about to say about what I think are two versions or two stages that people go through when learning the very beginning of business. And I'd say that I went through both of these stages myself, and maybe I'm still in the second stage. So, what I'd say is the first stage is skepticism. So, a lot of times you hear about these business models, whether it's online arbitrage through Amazon FBA or e commerce, or maybe drop shipping, or maybe day trading, or investing. Many other, there's many different models, and there's many more. Um, and you hear about this, or maybe you've even heard of just one model and you've seen someone be successful with it. Maybe you hear some YouTuber, or maybe some friend said it, or maybe um, you just heard about it, maybe just online, maybe even through an ad. But because of hearing that, then you think that maybe it's too good to be true, and you don't really give it too much thought. And it's very natural for you to kind of shoo it away as probably just another scam. And you shoo it away, and maybe it comes back, and you kind of shoot it away again because you know that there's a lot of scams in this world. You know that there's a lot of people who are trying to just take your money, which is also pretty true. And maybe you also come from a family that is very used to receiving their income in a certain nice packaged way. Maybe your family and friends are all doctors or all engineers or teachers, so they're all used to a very fixed, quote unquote, secure income, whatever that means in today's economy. But um, many times when anyone comes across these kinds of things, especially in this age and in this age group of young adults, a lot of times people are pretty skeptical. Um, but that's what I would say this first stage. But then what happens is maybe they come across just one more piece of content or material that may be from actually a close friend, or maybe even a close family member that they know who is actually making money by one of these methods. For me, there's a friend of a friend who is actually doing really well off on online arbitrage through Amazon FBA. And I was like, wait, that's crazy, you know? And I spoke with him, and I was like, wait a minute, this is real? And I was like, wow, that's cool. Um, and what happens is the skepticism starts to vanish, and you start to go into this other phase of what I'd say is the beginner phase. So the second phase of the beginner phase, which is trying to understand what it is that you're learning, and just you start to have from a removed version of which you never really thought about you doing this business yourself, to now you're envisioning yourself in that person's shoes, and you're thinking about, wait a minute, if I'm working a 9 to 5, or if I'm already in a certain career that I don't necessarily enjoy, would I prefer to do this full time if it pay the bills? And for some people the answer starts to be yes.